as promised, part 3 of the Breonna Taylor Drug Cartel. Oh man, where we left off with Jamarcus Glover, aka Chapo, arguing with his baby mother over Breonna's holding his money and his connection to it, and her connection to the syndicate, and being just a pivotal, integral figure in this drug organization. And look, it is what it is, man. These are the words of the players involved. So there shouldn't be any you trying to make the white man out here doing this and why you. These are the words of the players, the hustlers, the trap stars that were her cohorts in this drug organization. Okay? So now we're going on and we're talking about Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker is the gentleman, the young man, who shot the cops who came through the door after they knocked loudly for a period of time, waking up neighbors, even having Breonna. Well, we'll get into that. Hit the like button, hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal, hit the Super Chat. We're about to go in. So, this is Kenneth Walker from jail. From the jail cell. He's in the same jail as all the other guys who got rounded up during the series of warrants that was served that night. The simultaneous warrants that were served that night. He's in jail only because he shot the cop. He was not a part of the drug syndicate. He was Breonna's boyfriend. Now, he may have been a street dude or whatever on another tip, but he's in jail because he shot the cop that came through the door. So at 12:47, noon, a little bit after noon, the next day, after Breonna died, he calls an unknown man from booking. And the unknown man says to him, so you all figured somebody was trying to home invade you all? That's what I thought, you feel me? Why would the Louisville Metropolitan Police Department do that shit at that time? That's the time robbers is out. They was beating on the door, and Breonna was like, who is it? And they ain't saying nothing. Your name wasn't on the search warrant or nothing though. Look, dude spot, the nigga Chop, it got hit at the same time. She's fucking with that nigga. That's crazy. And you the innocent bystander in all this shit. I called it out, bruh. I called that shit out. I did too. But I was already knowing all that, though. Okay. So, Demarius Brown, another player in the Breonna Taylor Drug Syndicate, he makes a phone call to his sister just before 5 in the morning, the next morning. She answers the phone. She says, they said they got 6 bags, a gun out of Chop's car. That's $20,000. Huh? They got $20,000 out of Chop's car, 6 bags out of the tree, a gun out of Chop's car. They got a I just pulled that money out. They got everything. They got everything from Chop. That conversation ends, and then later on that afternoon, he calls his sister again from the dormitory. So they transferred them from the holding cell to the dormitory in the prison, in the jail. And when he calls his sister, she begins the conversation saying, "You know they killed Breonna." "Yeah, I know." "How you find out?" "Shit, the nigga is in here with us." "Who's in there with y'all?" "The nigga Walker." "Yeah, is that who shot her?" "The police was coming to hit her house. He shot the police officer." And then that's when his mom gets on the phone and says, "What did they charge y'all with? The candy store?" "Possession of cocaine." "Did you hear about that girl dead?" "Yeah." "You remember Kenneth Walker?" "Yeah." That was her boyfriend too. Chapo's tore up, ain't he? Crying, fuck you mean? That money's in her name. Everything's in her name right now. It's over. We fired up for real. They killed Breonna. Locked my phone up. They took my phone. Get on my Gmail and lock my phone up. Then his sister takes the phone and she says, "How you do that?" "Log in, find my iPhone. You can lock it up like that. Lock it up so they can't get in it." They killed Breonna. I'm sick about that. On the news, they said they don't know if Walker shot at the police or he shot the police officer. So what? Was they going to give a warrant to Chapo? The police officers know more than what a nigga thinks he knows. Was that Chop's address Breonna's house? Hell no. It's got to be because they was going to Breonna's. The narcotics was going to Breonna's. It's on the news. They were going to Breonna's house to serve somebody. They was doing a search warrant. And they said somebody shot from inside and they shot back inside. They sent the police to the hospital and the person they shot inside was killed. Another instance of someone confirming that the drugs for the syndicate, the organization, the cartel, whatever you want to call it, were being sent to Breonna's house. So she was the drop-off point for the drugs before they were taken to the trap house, which is what the police surveilled. If you go back to part 1, the police surveilled this with their surveillance. They saw that Chapo was going to Breonna's house, picking up boxes and taking them to the trap, and then the trap would, soon after the boxes would arrive at the trap would just explode with traffic. Cars just coming by, and leaving, coming through quickly, picking up something and leaving. So the trap would be dead because they would be out of product. Chapo would go to Breonna's house, pick up the drugs, take them back to the trap, and then the trap would be jumping again. So that's what they picked up from their surveillance. But this phone call between Bowman and his sister confirms that the drugs, Breonna's house was the port of entry for the syndicate where the drugs came in. So So then Bowman says to his sister, Walker let that girl die in her own house. So then a few hours later, he calls his sister back after that conversation ends. And she says, Mama said your phone not in the car. Go to the trap and find it. It's at the trap then. Then his mother gets on the phone. And he asks his mom, where AJ at? At the trap? Over there with Damo? You hear about Breonna though? Yeah, baby. They hit Breonna the same way they hit y'all, at the same time. Mama, that's the same now. That's the same. That girl died instantly, baby. I know my name's slandered in that shit. But why they go out to her house? 'Cause of Chapo? Shit, we don't know. They said they had a search warrant to go in the house. For who though? They said Chapo. Tink, you don't listen. You need to get out of there. Dama would have hung himself if he was in that motherfucker. You sit in that motherfucker like you live at the Omni. Mama, I didn't even supposed to be in there. I supposed to be at the Brick House, 2605 West Muhammad Ali Boulevard. So where everybody? On Muhammad? No, they on Elliott. So his mom then tells her daughter to three-way a guy named Thugger, aka Deontay Glover. So Thugger is apparently the brother of Chapo. So Thugger gets on the phone with Bowman, his mom, and Bowman's mom asks him, let me tell you this, why ain't nobody at the spot? Then Thugger says to her, I really don't know. It don't stop. You gotta be careful. Make sure your son ain't still on the phone. So she's like, the mom was like, look, just because Breonna got killed, man, the traps still need to be jumping. Them fiends still need that, they still need their hit. They need their fix. So the mom is heavily involved in this too. Here's this guy, D. Bowman's mom. Then she says, yeah, I'm just talking in code, baby. I'm calling you on my phone. Hang up. So that guy, Thugger, was smart enough to not want to talk while she was still on three-way with someone who was calling from the jail. This is the first time maybe the second time, but the first real time someone has actually objected to talking all this reckless, crazy shit on the jail phone. So then, that night, D. Bowman calls his sister again. And he says, that money was on Keisha. Shit, we put all that money on Keisha. What y'all said, it was Keisha's money? We put everything with her. Y'all gave it to her? Yeah. Why we have it? It's not ours. We dumped everything on her. Is that what y'all telling the boss? What did you say? Is that what y'all telling Thugger? Telling Thugger what? That everything was on her? No. All the money was on her. He don't know shit. It's important to note that when PBI detective seized the money from Keisha, aka Alicia Jones, the night of the warrant, Keisha first stated that she had a job and she can prove that was her money. Jones then stated she just sold a car and could prove that was her money, because you need girls like this or people like this with jobs for money laundering, so that they can say, so you can launder the money through their personal bank accounts or them, because they're straight. These people are not in the streets. These people have tax, they have something, they have income, so you can use them for money laundering. And I think that's also what they were using Breonna. That was one of her many roles in the syndicate too. Breonna was money laundering. So the sister goes on to say to Bowman, Chapo's mad because he's on the search warrant and AJ's on the search warrant. Who? AJ and Thugger. So who they looking for now? The only motherfuckers that's not locked up is Thugger, AJ, Damo, and Big Doug. Who's Adrian Walker? Adrian Walker is Big Doug, who is Chapo's right-hand man. So then Bowman says to his sister, shit, I had a lot of money on me when they came in the house. Chop said, get that shit to Keisha. It ain't mine no more. Fuck that money. Now here's a conversation between Rayshawn Lee, another guy who got picked up during the simultaneous warrants in which Breonna was killed, but he was at a different house than the one Breonna was at. He's calling Damo, aka Dominique Crenshaw. You've heard his name before. So Rayshawn Lee calls Damo and Damo says, what they doing going to Breonna's house? That ain't got nothing to do with Elliot. Nothing whatsoever. Whatever that nigga Kenneth Walker had going on, that's what they want out there. That shit ain't got nothing to do with Chapo. They follow Chapo from his daughter's house. That's what's throwing me off. Why did they go kick Breonna's door in though? What did she do? Kenneth Walker shot at the goddamn door. He got her killed. He did it? Oh man. He shot at them people, man. So he shot them and they killed her, 7 shots. He got her brain on his shirt right now. He got her brain on his shirt right now. Okay, so they're all in the same, at this time they're all still in the same cell block at the jail. Kenneth Walker, all the other guys from Breonna's drug syndicate, they're all in the same holding cell. Then Rayshawn Lee calls an unknown female, most likely his baby's mother, and he says to her, 500 he get me out tomorrow. Yeah. How much money you got left? I don't have 5. I should have it later on. I'll make sure I put it back in there. I get that shit straight from Chapo. I'm standing outside, these people come fucking with me. I ain't going back on no damn Elliot. They found a bag of sugar in the house. Swear up and down it's drugs. Bruh's girl bought some spaghetti over there. Motherfucker putting sugar in their spaghetti. They killed my nigga Chapo's girl Breonna last night. They raided her house. Kenneth Walker over there, he get to shooting. Then they get to shooting. He ducks off and go hide. He left her in the hallway by herself to take all them fucking bullets. They hit that girl 7 times. Twice in the head. So then that call ends, and later on, Rayshawn Lee calls Damo back. And he says, you know they got me as a keep from this nigga, Kenneth Walker, bruh? From that nigga, Walker? Crenshaw has Glover with him during this call. Now Damo has Jamarcus Glover, aka Chapo, with him during the call. Because they're out. They gotten out. I guess they posted bond. And Chapo says to Rayshawn, that was Bree's nigga, Kenneth Walker. Nigga, we ain't got nothing to do with that nigga. That's what Scott, the lawyer, said. He said, man, these are 2 different addresses, man. That man don't know that man. He ain't got no connections to this man. Y'all are trying to put him as a keep from. He don't know nothing about this man. Y'all trying to throw a nigga's face on the news because of this nigga. I don't even know this nigga. So then, later on that day, Rayshawn Lee calls his baby mother back and says, they try to put me on the news for a murder. Yeah, a body. Co-defendant of a murder. They trying to tag me into that shit. You need to stay away from Elliott Avenue. That's what I get. I usually don't even be over there. I be on Muhammad. Then Rayshawn starts telling his baby mother about how police pulled up on him while he was outside smoking. And then he says to her, I'm a co-defendant because some nigga, Kenneth Walker, killed a motherfucker. Well, he didn't kill a motherfucker. He shot at the police. Police shoot back and killed, I guess, his girlfriend, Breonna Taylor, or whatever. Shot her 7 times. He got brain matter all on his goddamn shirt when he came in here last night. So then that conversation ends and he calls his baby mother back a little bit later. And he says, one more number. That one's ringing. He's on the phone. Who is that? Damo? And then the other man on the line says, hello, this is Damo. Ask, is he with Chop? So now they've gotten a little smarter. They're using 2 phones and using a relay. So the baby mother's using another phone and relaying the conversation back. So Rayshawn says again, ask him, is he with Chop? Rayshawn said, are you with Chop? He said no. Ask him, are they paying it? He said, are y'all paying it? He don't know if he's been down there or not. Chop got his phone. So then Keisha, who's another girl who they use for money laundering, aka Alicia Jones, she calls Adrian Walker from her dormitory because she got picked up too in the warrants, in the search warrants. And she says, where you at? And Adrian Walker says, I'm on Elliott. But I've been thinking about some shit, boy. I don't know, Keisha. Motherfucker gotta move different. That's all it is. Niggas out here practicing insanity. Keep doing the same thing, but expecting a different outcome. Real talk, though. That's two, though. So then, on April the 2nd, 2020, PBI detectives executed a search warrant on Chapo, aka DeMarcus Glover, Rayshawn Lee, Alicia Jones, and Demarius Bowman's cell phones that were seized on March 13th. Chapo, aka DeMarcus Glover's cell phone had evidence of narcotics trafficking as well as an association with Breonna Taylor. Screenshots of an AT&T bill paid with her name on it. Rayshawn Lee's cell phone had evidence of narcotics trafficking from 2424 Elliott Avenue. Text messages. Then on April 22nd, 2020, PBI detectives executed a search warrant and an order to vacate at 2424 Elliott Avenue. Shortly before the warrant was executed, DeMarcus Glover, Rayshawn Lee, and Demarius Bowman were all seen leaving the residence in their respective vehicles. When the warrant was executed, Anthony Taylor II was inside the residence and attempted to flee out the back of the residence. Mr. Taylor was apprehended in the alley behind the residence. Search of the residence yielded another significant amount of suspected crack cocaine, large bag of suspected MDMA, marijuana, and assorted drug paraphernalia, indicative of narcotics trafficking. Before PBI detectives were done searching the residence, other detectives within the CID were able to apprehend Demarius Bowman, Rayshawn Lee, and bring them back to 2424 Elliott Avenue. Demarius Bowman was apprehended leaving 2605 West Muhammad Ali Boulevard and had a significant amount of U.S. currency on his person and in his vehicle. Rayshawn Lee was apprehended on the lot of Dino's. Anthony Taylor II, Demarius Bowman, and Rayshawn Lee were all arrested and charged accordingly. DeMarcus Glover was arrested the following day, April 23rd, 2020, in the same vehicle that he was seen leaving 2424 Elliott Avenue in, and charged accordingly. PBI detectives were able to seize all these individual cell phones and execute search warrants on them. With the assistance of Metro Louisville codes and regulations, 2424 Elliott Avenue was officially vacated and boarded up. So that's the trap house. That's one of the two trap houses. 2605 Muhammad Ali and 2424 Elliott are the trap houses. So they boarded up Elliott Avenue. So Chapo's locked up again. Okay, he got locked up the day Breonna got killed. Got out the next day. And now he's locked up again. Because, like that guy's mom said, Damo's mom said, it doesn't stop. You get locked up, you get out, and then you hit the trap again. And you open the shop back up. You get some more drugs. And you start, because when you run in a shop or a trap like that, it's almost addictive, man. It's the lifestyle. Like, you the man. You got the product. People need you. People depend on you. Hustlers, underlings, people who hustle for you, people who do jobs for you, people who do all type of jobs in your organization. They all depend on you for their livelihood. So you're like, it's kind of like when during the riots, when they burn down a CVS or they burn down a Target. All those people, they ain't got no job now. Like, every employee, when they burn down a Target because somebody got killed by the police, all them employees that work at the Target, the overnight shift, the shift managers, the boys who go get the carts and retrieve the carts out the lot techs, whatever you want to call them, the grocery baggers, the dudes who stock the shelves overnight, everybody's lost their job. So it's a lot of people that depend on you when you run a trap house or you run a weed spot or whatever you run, a crack house or whatever. And it's very hard to get out the game. I'm not making no excuses for these guys, but I just know, like, once you get out, it's back to business. Breonna got killed. That's jacked up. It's fucked up. Breonna got killed. Nobody wanted that. Guys are upset about that. They fucked up, man. But the next day, they bail out and they go back to the trap and they slang it again. And a month later, they picked up again and they back in jail. And this is Chapo after he got arrested again on April 24th, calling his baby mother. The baby mother gets on the phone. Scott, the lawyer, said $500 for him and $500 for you to get out. I gotta come back up there at 1 o'clock. I was gonna get $500, but I was on the phone with Doug, aka Adrian Walker, and Doug told me not to, because you and him got some type of relationship and you would take care of it or something. Text Scott and tell him I'm gonna get him the money. Scott said, you need to stay off the streets. They really want you bad because they made a mistake and killed that girl. They're gonna constantly keep messing with you. Scott said, I'm sure Jamarcus knows. Scott said, I'm sure Jamarcus knows that by now, these charges they threw on him, he really needs to stay out the way. Then Chapo says to his baby mother, they literally trying to snatch a nigga up though, because they did this shit to Bree and shit. I'm knowing where they were trying to go with it when they said something about the message though. Kiera, you know I don't text at all. When they were saying something about the message, like, this the 424 number, I just got that number. I probably ain't had that number but a month. So therefore, Bree ain't even been on that phone over no month. How you know they talking about the 424 number? Shit, that's the only number they got that me and Bree talking on. They don't know the number that me and Bree were talking on. They only got like a month of text messages or something. I swear it ain't nothing silly. I ain't talking to y'all about no drugs and shit. Maybe you just was like, come pick up this money. So then that conversation ends, and then he calls her back later on and says, they fucking with me for no reason though. That's what the lawyer said. They're so angry they killed that girl. They're gonna get Jamarcus. I've been asking you all week. I want to ride. I just want to get out of the house, because I'm in the house all day. This is why I don't have you with me, though. Because, like, they going to get to doing shit like they did with Bree. As soon as they seen something about my bank statement, her address, they literally went to her house. They going to be watching you because they hadn't run in my house yet. They took my car. They got that bank statement out the armrest. Boom, it got Bree's address on there. They see that Bree got that new car. She living through her job, though. She not living off nothing else. The shit that I put in the bank, it be phone bill money. Shit I order, shit offline. They did their research or whatever. They probably got that girl's car records. They probably got a whole lot. So it might be something that you might miss. I'm telling you everything I got going on. You lie like crazy. So then that conversation ends, and on May 12th, 2020, Breonna Taylor's family civil attorney Sam Aguiar stated in an article published by the Courier-Journal that Breonna Taylor and Glover had dated 2 years ago and maintained a passive relationship. Then the next day, Breonna Taylor's family civil attorney Sam Aguiar stated in an article published by ABC News that Miss Taylor was still friendly and she accepted packages for Chapo, aka Jamarcus Taylor, at her house. Then on the 16th, the Courier-Journal published an article saying that police records from a search of Breonna Taylor's apartment after her death showed that officers collected Jamarcus C. Glover's matter from inside Breonna Taylor's purse, along with a letter from him found in the east bathroom. And he listed Breonna's address as his address. And it shows it's his probable address since March of 2016. I hope they showed you guys that, Breonna, there was a reason for her house to be hit during those simultaneous warrants. Her being killed was solely because of the actions of Kenneth Walker, who shot at the police when they came through the door. The police made their presence aware to everybody who lived in that apartment building. It's a tragedy that that girl died. However, had this happened at any other time, any other year, I don't think we would have heard of this. It's just they hit 4 drug houses at one time. During one of the raids, somebody shot at the cops and got killed. That's literally what happened. They hit 4 drug houses at one time after a 4-year investigation, which included a murder, multiple trap houses, tons of surveillance, tons of just footwork and groundwork by a lot of police agencies, and it culminated in the death of this girl. She was shot during one of the raids, but the raid was justified. If they gonna go in anybody's house, or if they're gonna make it to where the police didn't have a right to go raid her house or to go serve a search warrant on her house, you can't serve a search warrant on nobody's house. Okay? Because she fit the criteria of somebody who's in the game. She was in the game. And I think that we gotta come to grips with that, man. Black community gotta come to grips with that. You gotta come to grips with that, man. That girl was in the game, my nigga. Okay? She was deep in the game. And unfortunately, this game is dirty. It's a rough game. People get killed. Cops get killed. A lot of cops get killed in this drug game. A lot of cops get shot. A cop is 10 times as likely to be killed by a black man as a vice versa. 10 times as likely. That's a stat they won't tell you. A cop is 10 times as likely to be killed by a black man as vice versa. They won't tell you that. They want you to think that just cops out here killing black dudes. Twice as many white people get killed by cops, and they have far less interactions with police. Far less. Far less. Infinitely more less interactions. And you can say, well, the cops don't mess with them because they white, or whatever. It don't matter. Whatever your excuse is for why it's less interactions with white people, that's not the point. The point is there are less interactions with white people by cops. Period. And twice as many white people get killed by cops. Every year. Don't matter why, racism, the cops let white people commit crimes because they white. They see a white person killing somebody and they don't do nothing because they white, and there's some kind of bond, some kind of union there. Somebody call the police and the cops show up, oh, he white, sorry, we gotta leave because, we can't respond to when people call us for white people. Childish ass shit, man. Way of thinking, childish mentality. Look, it's less interactions, far less interactions that the police have with the white community, and still white people are killed at twice the rate of black people. Double. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Peace. I'm out.